Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. This is TJ, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And welcome to my review of Monday Night Raw. This week's Monday Night Raw was an average show, watchable show at least, but because since weeks we have been seeing very bad shows and awful shows. So it was little better than 2 to 3 weeks, last 2 to 3 weeks at least. But the build itself, I mean, this was a go home show for Hell in a Cell. Um, this is one of the weakest, you can say. Maybe one of the weakest build for Hell in a Cell, you can say. And this was weak, and this show wasn't. I mean, I said it's watchable, but still it's looming around that bad thing, and they have not rectified the bad things, the bad booking and the lazy booking that they being known about for several months, and it's been years now. So still it is what it is. So let's get into this review. We open with Alexabliss recapping the Lily Shayna Baszler incident from last week. And Nia Jax comes up and she says you are changed right now. We were friends, and Bliss needs to leave Shayna alone, as Nia says, and Bliss laughs it off, and Nia challenges her tonight for the match. Bliss accepts. Alexa Bliss accepts. So this they actually gave this match without any kind of build, just a promo, and they just gave the match. But the starting of the show was good. Last week's ending was the only thing that I actually liked upon, and they opened with the same thing. And this is the only storyline that I'm liking right now on Monday Night Raw. So it's interesting, and whole show we also saw some interesting things as well. So Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, this would have been a pay-per-view caliber match. You can have build up with this match for next pay-per-view or something, or even in SummerSlam or something. You could have done that as well. So at least for next pay-per-view, but they just wished that they are throwing it off in a TV show. So in a weekly show. So that is what it is. This was the opening segment, and then we get to Nikki Cross coming out, and then Charlotte versus Nikki Cross again, and this was the match. I'm not pretty interested. This was a very short match, and Nikki Cross pulled up the victory by a roll up. Rhea Ripley was sitting on a commentary. The interesting thing that I saw was Rhea Ripley kind of had a turn to a babyface kind of thing, because she was supporting Nikki Cross in the match. She's go Nikki, she was saying. I mean, she was mocking or something, I don't know, because after the match as well, Charlotte actually was attacking. The frustration got into her because of the loss, and she was attacking Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley saves her. She didn't kind of, you can say that because she was attacking Charlotte, she didn't look upon Nikki Cross or something, but still kind of a small turn that she is having. So Rhea Ripley is a kind of a fan favorite, or the one who is kind of favorite here to retain the championship. No way fans are gonna support Charlotte to have the 10,000th title reign. Just joking, but still, that was a match, nothing to say about. And next we got to the second match, which was John Morrison versus Jeff Hardy, and this had a pretty history, right? Because they had a match, if you remember, in 2006, that ladder match they had, and they had a rivalry that time. So they actually played upon that as well in the commentary. So this was going to be exciting. I seen upon. John Morrison, his acrobatics and athletic maneuvers are very good to see, and he's a very improved wrestler, and he's very good. He's good, he's funny with Miz, but if would be going for single championship, he would certainly be a very good mid card champion. I want to see that. And Jeff Hardy is a very good performer as well still. So this match would have been a very good, and they would have WWE should have put on a very good match here, but they didn't, because and the some or the other reason Cedric comes up. I mean, no relation of the story. Cedric comes up, and he actually was distracted, and kind of a split leg splash by John Morrison gets the victory for Jeopardy. Short match. The build up of match was good. I mean, they were working very well in the early, but at the finish, Cedric Alexander, after he came out, it was just lame. It was just they ruined this match. And post match, actually, uh, Cedric Alexander challenged Jeff Hardy for the match, because last week they had the match and he picked up the victory. Jeff Hardy picked up the victory, and he wants to challenge Jeff. Why are you sticking the nose in every businessman? I'm speaking about Cedric Alexander. I mean, there's no point in this rivalry, and you're just a pissed off guy. And I mean, really, I'm hating Cedric Alexander now, right now. That means that I am actually he's actually I'm actually hating, and he's actually doing the character that he's needed to, because he's a heel. So he's certainly having that kind of irritation, kind of gimmick that he has, irritated gimmick. I mean, the post match we saw another match between Jeff Hardy and Cedric Alexander. Cedric challenge, actually. So another match. I mean, they do it because they just have want to fill the time. That's why they actually did this match. So nothing to say about Jeff Hardy picked up the victory. A random match, twist of fate set up the front on to finish Alexander. A 2 minutes kind of match. So just to fill time, just to have that. Cedric Alexander can go with any US Championship scenario as well. I mean, why are you sticking with other? I mean, this kind of. No story kind of thing. And what is Monday Night Raw? I mean, the first hour was so very bad, just like we see all the weeks. First hour was bad, and then we got to. I didn't know about as well. I mean, Eva Marie's debut is gonna be happening, and Naomi comes up. And Naomi's challenger is the debuting Eva Marie, and Eva Marie is coming up with Piper Niven, but some or the other reason introduction is making for Eva Marie is gone for Eva Marie, but Piper Niven is coming up, and she's as fans were speculating, Piper Niven, Mercedes Martinez, they would be called off to the main roster, and it's finally Piper Niven from NXT UK. She had done pretty good work there, and she wasn't doing anything there. She was doing with Samuel's kind of friendship storyline. So glad that she is getting uh, somewhat of a spotlight. I mean, Monday Night Raw is being seen by many fans all over many fans all over the world. So Naomi versus Eva Marie, some or the other reason Piper Niven is kind of having a spotlight. Then Eva Marie is kind of acting like a manager or something. I mean, that actually felt about. I mean, we could see Eva Marie's debut in ring debut, but I don't think so. She would be making the debut. I mean, I think so that Piper Niven would be doing the job, and all the things, all the reason that they brought about Eva Marie. I think so to build Piper Niven. That's my thought, because fans don't know who she is, because NXT UK don't people don't watch NXT UK that like NXT or something, because it's a 1 hour show. It doesn't have kind of intriguing storyline or something like NXT. It's more of a wrestling product. But yeah, I watch it, but we are hardcore fans. But still, that's my thought. So Naomi versus Eva Marie. Naomi versus Eva Marie. Eva Marie was not because it was called as an Eva Marie Naomi match, but the match was Piper Niven versus Naomi, and they have the match. And it was a simple match, a squash match. Niven runs over to start. It's a release world strongest slam and a back splash onto Mishnugu driver. That's it, and she gets the victory. And post that, she hugs Eva Marie, and that's it. And interesting part is that actually the the result was Eva Marie was announced herself as the winner. I mean, what is going on? Papa Niven is doing the work, and Eva Marie is getting the victory. I mean, I think so. Papa Niven is doing the job, or that could be also the angle. Like Papa Niven is doing the job for Eva Marie, and as I think so, they are heels. Certainly, I mean, I think so. Seeing Piper Niven and the relationship, that thing so, and this was a very bad debut for Eva Marie. Even if she had come up with a alone, and if she had pushed, because fans were expecting like that. I mean, by seeing this scenario, there's two scenario playing out. Either Piper Niven came about because she just want to have break up the victory using the Eva Marie name. That's going to be something storyline being laid out, and laying out to a one-on-one storyline, or maybe the most obvious would be Eva Marie is kind of acting like a manager for Piper Niven. So anyway, I'm not so happy about that. It's just there. And then we saw a segment, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. They are having a photo shoot while Natalia and Tamina are training in a training ring, and they got in an argument, and having a skills versus looks, kind of that kind of promo that they had, and they brawl onto the training ring, and they they didn't have a match. They challenged it. Maybe we could see next week, I think so. So then we get to Drew McIntyre's promo. It's such a long promo. I mean, here as well, he tells about some story. He known for this, called as a famous person known as William Wallace, his strategies and all. He actually fought entire army, and he was victorious in that kind of story, that motivational story. And I mean, he's really trying to people to love him. I mean, I love him to win the match, even the WWE Championship. But it's too late, man. I mean, I was more interested to see him win in WrestleMania, or even, my God, WrestleMania Backlash as well. I mean, it's way past right now, and this should be the last chance for Drew McIntyre. I mean, it's getting old right now. I mean, we want new challenges right now. It's really getting old right now. I mean, what they are doing, maybe they could get it over with in a Hell in a Cell match, and have progress. Bobby Lashley going with another story, and Drew McIntyre, hopefully, maybe he'll be going for US Championship or something, because Sheamus need a very good story for that SummerSlam matchup. So maybe we can see that scenario as well. So this was the promo, and then we get to New Day versus RK Bro. Finally, from weeks of singles match, of alternate matches they had, finally they are having a final match, call of match, that they are having New Day versus. This was long. I mean, this was kind of 20 minutes or something, but still, this was good. This was at a point, this was felt like a dragged upon, but still it was good. Riddle and Randy Orton worked out really well. I mean, Riddle with that MMA style wrestling, and strikes and all, and knees and all, and that fast-paced maneuvers that he does. And while Randy Orton comes up with a slow, methodical style that we know about his style, and he just picks apart his opponent, and that was a very, and the cohesion is building up with RK Bro. I mean, they are building that cohesion, and it was really good to see. And New Day, we know New Day are the cube guys, and they have the experience advantage better than RK Bro. So that was playing out as well. This was not kind of a one-sided match. This was a back and forth match. At first, New Day was, RK Bro were kind of having the moment, having the offense on New Day, and the New Day has that. And then we, in the last, we saw they had the both have the back and forth match. We saw some great wrestling here, wrist lock and all, frog splash, cross body five, Kofi Kingston, and an arm bar and all. And Orton's storytelling in the match is so good. I mean, speaking about the opponent, and Riddle having that, that's a great storytelling that we had in the, and the tag team cohesion that I told about, that was great great in this match. So this was a good match. I mean, a pretty decent match. Nothing to say wrong about, but just they dragged upon that because that was the and the ending of the match. It got physical sometimes. Like Riddle have that physicality. Ripcord knee set up the floating bro for two. I thought about that would be the victory for RK-Bro, but that was not. Then we got in the finish we saw Orton tags himself, but can't hit the RKO on Woods. He can, however, counter the trouble in paradise on a roll, actually on a roll of Xavier Woods into the RKO for the pin out of nowhere, and that was great finish. So a better match and a better call off for the storyline than what we are being seeing, and so this was interesting in first hour. And then we saw Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. They have the some they have they are having something kind of a discussion. Rhea Ripley thinks Charlotte is obsessed with her. After Sunday, Charlotte is going to the back of the line. It's just a small promo just to build up. Then we saw Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. This was a way less repetitive match than Asuka versus Charlotte, because that match we have seen tons of times. So Asuka versus Rhea Ripley we have seen last time in WrestleMania. I think so, in WrestleMania, yeah, WrestleMania. So it was good to see. It was good to see Asuka versus Rhea Ripley, but still a rematch. I mean, again a rematch, but still this was a good. Asuka worked really well, and Asuka with her fighting spirit and her quickness and her quickness and her strikes and her submission based wrestling. That was the main highlighting point for Asuka. The story of the match, and Rhea Ripley, where she's the overconfident, and she's also have that experience. I mean, she's not experienced like Asuka or something, but she was having that having that equal kind of equal kind of opportunity with Asuka as well, offense on Asuka as well. So that was great to see. This was a non-title match, but it felt like sometime like a title match. But this was a good match. It was nothing like long or something. It was good to see. This was a 10-minute match or something. The highlighting points of the match, we saw Asuka hits a missile rope drop kick and all, and Rhea Ripley grabs a Northern Light suplex for the same, but Asuka back with a running kick to the face. So kicks and strikes in the last moments. The drama was there in the match in the last moments of the match. Yes, kick is then countered into some knees to Asuka's chest, and she goes for the prism trap, and that is reversed into a face plant. But the Asuka lock is countered into the riptide, and the finish was very good, and finish was very great to see, very great and fun maneuvers and fun reversals that we saw. So this was a good match, a better match than Asuka versus Charlotte, because I mean, that match is good, but still that match we have been seeing tons of times. So small little change that we had Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Don't make it this like a weekly show, man. From next week you'll be doing Asuka versus Rhea Ripley now. Don't make it, please don't make it. So this was the match, and then we get to post match. Charlotte go for Rhea Ripley, and the brawl is on, and brawl is a very big brawl. I mean, this was not a short brawl. I mean, they really did put a very did it really put a very emphatic statement on this match. I mean, they're building it a very important match kind of for the women's from the Raw side. So could be a good match. I mean, Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley, they had a match in WrestleMania that was great. So maybe they would be having a great match. I mean, there's nothing to say about this new or something. So that's why I'm not saying about much about this. So hopefully this would be a good match. Charlotte and Rhea Ripley works very well, and they would be having a very good match. So they would be having a very good match. So at the point, Charlotte actually had busted open the nose somewhere in there, and she was getting into it. Can't wait to attack and to destroy Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley is also want to do the same as well. So that was a good little brawl. So, and then we get to MVP. Kevin Patrick is there. He's trying to interview Bobby Lashley, and he has actually asked the Kevin Patrick asked actually on his views on Drew McIntyre facing on AJ Styles. MVP says he's not interested in saying anything about that. He's only just want to get it over with Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell, and he will beat Drew McIntyre, and just a normal kind of thing, just to intimidate. Just they intimidate Kevin Patrick each and every segment because he doesn't put on respect like saying Almighty Bobby Lashley. So that's it. Nothing so exciting or something. So then we get to Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. This was interesting. I mean, to the second hour, the matches were and the matches and the this was an interesting hour. Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Even though this was not a great match or something, but the storyline, the storytelling that they told was good. I mean, Alexa Bliss is a wrestling is so much different here, and she had a resemblance of her normal Alexa Bliss as well, because she was hitting many because she hit the twisted bliss on Nia Jax and in the finish, and post that we also saw many stiff kicks and stiff forearm which look real as hell, man. And Nia Jax really did well, one of the better matches of Nia Jax, and she really did well in selling, and she did well in the power department as well. She actually had run over her, and Alexa Bliss was trying her, and this was not kind of a match where we see Alexa Bliss just picking her up. This was an even matchup where this was kind of a back and forth matchup where Alexa Bliss was also having the offense as well, and Nia Jax also having an offense as well of her power department and power moves as well, power offenses as well. So this was a good match. I mean, just a very good. I mean, testing debut for Alexa Bliss after so much long time, and she did really well. It was limited, and the storytelling was more here, and that's the thing that is warranted. I mean, the storytelling demands that, so that's why the wrestling is low, and it's not like top notch high fly stuff or something. And in the finish we saw a short DDT of by Alexa Bliss, and that sets up twisted bliss, but Reginald actually comes in for, and she saves and just pulls Jack's knees out instead. Uh, pulls Bliss actually, and it caused a DQ, and Alexa Bliss is pissed off, and she's looking, and this was the moment where Alexa Bliss and Reginald were facing off, and Alexa Bliss was getting to have a control on Reginald, and this was a point that See Wrestling YouTube channel actually made, and that's the thing that they are doing. Maybe Reginald is getting would be getting aligned with Alexa Bliss or something. Maybe we will be getting down the line. Maybe Reginald would be costing Shayna Baszler that match. Maybe Alexa Bliss would be getting the victory. That would be interesting to see how the story goes, because the thing what we saw was Alexa Bliss was tilting her head, and Reginald was also doing the same. And after that, Nia Jax comes up and kind of distracts Reginald, and Reginald just come out of Reginald just came out of that world, and he was just entering to her Alexa Bliss character and world, and he was getting into her head. She was getting into his head. So that was interesting to see. So the storyline, the whole presentation was the main thing. A better match for Nia Jax. So that was the match. And post match, after this segment was over, and this was a better thing that I actually interested in this show, and that made this show interesting. Actually, you can definitely see that this was the thing that actually made the show interesting as a whole, and at least I'm saying average or something for this show. So after this match, we saw MVP is talking to New Day, and he suggests that Kofi Kingston is losing because Xavier Woods. So MVP is just playing out and getting into his mind just to turn Kofi Kingston, and eventually we'll be getting that. And SummerSlam, I mean, it's not early or something. It's you can build it. It's now we have 3 months. We have 2 months to be precise, so they can build it up like Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods, could kind of personal storyline, but it's not like that right now, and New Day doesn't want to hear it, and Kofi gives a fired up speech because how his friends helped him get there, and so MVP, such an interesting situation going out there as well. MVP is really trying to bring about Kofi Kingston into the business. hurt business, you can say. They don't use that term anymore, but still in that group. So maybe we can see that Kofi turning on Kofi turning on Xavier Woods, but we are not seeing any sign or something. But still, we would be seeing it eventually. They teased it, they're teasing it weekly, and but then remember, Kofi doesn't have a match. And actually, the most important part of this thing was MVP actually mocked in the last that. All the best for your Hell in a Cell match. I mean, I'm thinking, did Kofi Kingston have any Hell in a Cell match? And he just tells, "Oh man, I'm just joking. You don't have any Hell in a Cell match." He was just joking. So he was mocking and you're getting into the head because you are being pulled over by your friends and your teammates, not teammates, your friends and all your family and all. You're just to be getting on your own business and just not to have that kind of a family kind of thing that you are doing it. And Kofi seems to be thinking, I mean, he's pretty much kind of teased in the last moment, teasing his they are teasing it. So that's pretty interesting situation. And then, man, again, another situation, another rematch, Jackson Riker versus Elias. So WWE is this is a booking for WWE. They turns it out in a tag. They turn some tag team, and they just have 3 4 matches every weekly show, and they just forgets about it. And that's the thing they are doing at Jackson Riker, another match. And this as well didn't have any decisive kind of, but this was physical match, man. In-ring stuff was good. Jackson Riker, Elias both had very well worked match. I mean, the story wasn't good. I was not interested, but this was fun to watch. We saw Elias was getting the spine buster from Jackson Riker, and they head outside with Elias getting kind of thinking that I don't want to match up with you, and he just goes and have the 10 count. And Jackson Riker is again victorious. So I don't know where they are going on with this. So this match is not confirmed Hell in a Cell or something. So obviously this would be a weaker kind of thing. And WWE don't want to have a 10 match card or something. So because lately after the pandemic they have been kind of playing it short, 5 to 6 matches only. And even some championship differences we don't see. So same thing is here as well. So Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. This was the main event. Let's we get into the main event. I was excited about this. No story matchup, but ever since it was announced last week, I was excited. I mean, Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. That's a dream match they are giving. So maybe very good in-ring match we'll be getting. Kind of showing for AJ Styles as well as in a main storyline concerning WWE Championship, as well as for Drew McIntyre as well. So having the mix of style, Drew McIntyre, a powerhouse, where AJ Styles is a kind of a high flyer wrestler and a technical kind of not a very technical, but a technical and a very professional, experienced wrestler. So AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre. This was a good match. This was doing good. I mean, AJ was not in the. I mean, definitely Drew McIntyre had the momentum here, so they wanted to him like look like a strong guy. So AJ didn't get that offense or something. He was a short guy, so he was trying to hit his offense over and over on Drew McIntyre. But Drew McIntyre was like never give up attitude. He was coming up with huge moves and over the top and that belly to belly suplexes and all. And he was not getting that much of offense. And a future shock DDT was also connected at early of this match. I mean, I was shocked. Are they giving us squash or something on AJ Styles? I mean, at least he's a tag team champion, man. Don't do this. But McIntyre's didn't get the pin. I didn't get the pin because Omos actually pulled AJ outside. And for some of the other reason, Viking Raiders comes up, and I was thinking, I mean, yellow color was displaying. I mean, is this Samojo or something? I mean, that's looming around my mind. I know that it's not related to this thing, but still. And it was Viking Raiders. So I understand that they are playing out this situation they are playing out this situation with a tag team situation as well. AJ Styles and Omos and Viking Raiders situation they're going on with. So not kind of necessary, but still they were there. They were kind of faces just to control the shenanigans of if just let's do something or something. So that was my hope, but they completely turned it around. And I wasn't interested. I mean, I was more interested to see Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles getting over and Bobby Lashley, and I didn't think about that AJ Styles would be picking up the win, or maybe Drew McIntyre picking up the win on AJ Styles, because he's the champion, as well as they really teased it, right, that he would be coming for way around in the 6 months or something. We could see in winter the WWE Championship picture AJ Styles. So he's been not there for a long time right now. So interested to see how that would be. So it just as they teased it, is coming for the, so they saved it because of that. So that was what I was thinking, and that's what we saw, because Bobby Lashley comes up, and Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre has had a something on the outside. They had a scuffle because they are just a cat and mouse kind of thing. If they see each other and they just start fights over, and Bobby Lashley had the disqualification, and post match, I mean, I think about that this would be the end of the match. I mean, this was a kind of that I hoped for, but they converted into a six-man tag team match. I was not interested that much. I mean, this match was so going good, and just having so much of guys in the ring, and including the girls of Bobby Lashley who were sitting. I mean, so much people. This would have been a very good main event, rather than just throwing around in the main event kind of in a pay-per-view, rather than just throwing around. I mean, if you want to do it correctly, you should have done it correctly. I mean, six-man tag team match, it was fun. I mean, it was mix of styles. It was good to watch, but nothing interesting or something, nothing we haven't seen. And this was Bobby Lashley and one second. Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Omos, versus Drew McIntyre and Viking Raiders. So face versus heel. So it was good, kind of a okay match, a pretty okay match. I mean, I could see the Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles were more better than this match. I mean, that was a match I was interested upon, and in the end, actually, Ivar fights up, but gets taken down again, setting up a chin lock from AJ. That's broke up. We get the double tag to set up Omos versus McIntyre, a kind of a face off there, Omos and McIntyre. So maybe you could get Omos McIntyre, a kind of a WWE Championship match. But think about that. I mean, Omos is not interesting right now, but if he breaks his relationship with AJ Styles, and they break it up with that tag team situation, maybe we can get that scenario as well. So almost chokes him. McIntyre comes with the right hand. Styles stacks himself and caught up in some overhead belly to belly suplex. Everything breaks down, and Eric actually dives at Omos on the floor, and he tossed on the. So it was a chaos main event. They did WWE stuff that we used to see, and they just build it around all the stuff that they have, kind of a mix of stuff, mix of styles, and mix of all the pictures that they were being played out. So AJ intentionally, in the end, this was kind of interesting that AJ intentionally avoids tagging Omos and tags in Lashley, and allowing McIntyre to hit the Claymore. And I mean, they just actually showed us the showed us that McIntyre beat Lashley, and that was, I mean, fans would say that this is kind of a setup for. I mean, McIntyre got the victory in a six-man tag team match on Bobby Lashley in a go-home show, and they are building it for Hell in a Cell just to have a reason. I mean, if they have done this thing as a kind of six-man tag situation, and if Drew McIntyre would have hit that Claymore and get the victory on Bobby Lashley 2 or 3 weeks before, I mean, okay, then the build and all, I mean, I get the victory, that's why. So then that just all, I mean, Drew McIntyre was Kofi Kingston, that actually scenario played. After that scenario, you could have played out this as well. I mean, doing this just for the sake, just to show that I am worthy enough, I mean, I don't understand. And it just don't make Drew McIntyre caliber good, or kind of looks him good or something. It really harms. It really actually hurts the WWE champion. I mean, the way the WWE champion was laying around the ring. I mean, that was bad. I mean, I didn't think about like that. That's my thought. They did it correct, but this was not the right time. They should not have done in the go home show. So they have done in. They're done in 2 to 3 weeks or before after that Kofi Kingston thing, Drew McIntyre is a challenger, and if they had done that 6-man tag situation in that in 1 week before, 2 weeks before, that would have been good. And they are doing it right now, and they just actually uh, it looked very bad. I mean, Bobby Lashley, they just booked him strong as a hell, but still, he Drew McIntyre picked up the victory. So, as the WWE style booking, the one who picks up the victory on a go home show would not win in a pay per view. That's the classic WWE booking we see. But we'll see how it goes. It's a so they really are telling that maybe Drew McIntyre would be not winning, but I'm going with Drew McIntyre because all the things that they are doing, all the shenanigans, all the things they have played out just to have this guy at WWE Championship. I mean, why are they doing? I don't know. It's a way past time, man. I mean, getting after this, what's the scenario if Drew McIntyre wins? What's next for Bobby Lashley? Just build up and all. And what's next for Drew McIntyre as well? I mean, they really did have to something should have to do at a hurry. I mean, they should not wait till July 16th or until the fans come back, because there's some time for that. So maybe they Brock Lesnar coming up, but that would be a scenario completely good scenario that they can bring them up. So that's my view. This was a show. This was a watchable show, average show. Riddle tag team match was good, and as well as that Alexabliss Najax, that was good as well as storyline and all that interesting, and that's interesting. Original thing that getting into his head by Alexabliss, that was good. So, yeah, but I think even though that I will tell that that was thrown away match, Alexa Bliss Nia I want to have that rivalry match in a pay-per-view or something. It would tell a very good story, better than Shayna Baszler as well, because they were friends and all. They could have some very good story there, very good match there. So that was my and that was only that I think of one. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. That's the only thing that was made. If that main event would have played out, that would have been better, and I would have said that this was a pretty good show. I mean, the last hour was good of this show. It was not bad. The first hour was kind of a thing that we've been seeing every week, not kind of interesting or something. Eva Marie's debut was very weak. I'm not interested to see what's next for her. So just there, and that's it. Please do comment in the comment section below what are your thoughts on this week's Monday Night Raw. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. And I will be coming with the Hell in a Cell predictions down the line in this week. So wait for that. So hopefully after SmackDown, because that would be a very good scenario for me having the prediction video, because maybe we could be getting some one match or something could getting confirmed or something for SmackDown Tag Team Championship or something, because in this episode we actually saw a match getting confirmed, Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler, that set up for her in a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, not a Hell in a Cell structure match, in a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So that's a pretty interesting match I want to see, and that's good. So even though the build-up isn't that great, but the story that the Alexa Bliss thing is good, and Shayna Baszler thing, they had 2 week build-up, but since it's doing good, man, it's better than the WWE Championship. And where is he, US champion? I mean, what is he doing? I mean, I think so he's injured. That's why Sheamus is not right. So that's why I think so that they are not doing with. Maybe we could see next week another squash match with Humberto Carrillo, and they just repeated it. So that's my view on this show. Please comment on this. And all that good stuff. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Peace.